Fair, spoiler-free reviews of the newest films. Vaughn on Movies.
Directed by Roach, Dinner for Schmucks stars Paul Rudd as Tim, a man ready to seize an opportunity. The firm he works at as an analyst has an opening on the highly regarded 7th floor. Tim proposes a scheme to land a lucrative client and the boss approves. But before he can gain access to his new office, Tim must first bring a guest to dinner. They call it the Dinner for Winners, but the truth is it's a competition to please the boss by bringing in tow the biggest idiot of the show. Fortunate for Tim, he literally ran into Barry, played by Steve Carell, a tax collector who dabbles in constructing dioramas for deceased mice. Despite his girlfriend's disapproval, Tim invites Barry to the party and soon discovers that this escapade may be more than he bargained for. Dinner for Schmucks. More like a movie for schmucks.
The world's toughest movie critic.
That's not even the correct title because the dinner's hardly even in the film. How would you like to see a movie called Clue, where instead of solving a mystery or even being at a mansion, people just sat around and talked about going to the mansion the next day? I'm actually confused about the premise behind this movie because Tim's secretary is telling him he needs to land this raise so he can buy a new car. He's driving a Porsche Boxster. Since when were those not cool? I thought there was no substitute. The biggest strike against this movie is not the writing, because some of the jokes are set up well, they just don't pan out. Because Steve Carell is not necessarily the right guy for the job. You take away Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, the fact that it's made by the director of the Austin Powers movies and Meet the Parents, and you're looking at a Pauly Shore film. And speaking of the 90s, this seems dated because it's a remake of a 1998 French film, which I haven't seen, but I guess somebody thought it was funny and it needed to be made for us. I did not laugh or smile a single time because the movie's set up to make you feel bad for the dinner guests. How are we supposed to laugh at a comedy where we're always being reminded that these people are being ridiculed? It doesn't make for humor, it makes for uncomfortable situations. Comparing Dinner for Schmucks to something contemporary like Grown Ups, we can surmise that this film at least was written, and the rodent taxidermy has a bigger payoff than anything in Grown Ups. But having seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I can tell you it just leaves these generic films behind. If you have to have laughs, wait just a couple of weeks, because I'm giving Dinner for Schmucks a 1.5 stars. I'll see you guys next time.